going on, everybody? It is Edison Crux, and welcome back to Steak. That's right, back to Steak. Welcome back to the SteakCraft server. I mean the CruxCraft server. It is episode, I think like 44 now. It's crazy. It's episode crazy is what it is. And we're going to be working more on this here, the Seaside Library. It looks like, there's a new monument to a heroic mob in town. Oh boy. That sounds, I just saw Quill log off in a hurry here, so I bet you that has something to do with his business there. Cool. I wonder what town. I wonder if he's talking Seaside or the village over off yonder way. I want to find this out now. Anyways, I'm getting started a little earlier than I initially planned because, well, I was ready and I didn't really see a reason not to. Okay, let's just see. What did this Quill do? What is he up to now? This crazy Quill, man. I can hear all the cows. Alright, let's get my rockets and whee! I don't think this is ever gonna get old, honestly. Flying around with rockets on the Elytra, I don't think it's ever gonna get old. Alright. I don't see anything offhand. That's an old monument there. Quill says it's in/off of the unnamed village. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well let's go take a look. Yeah, because we do need to name this village. That's the thing. We need to name this village. We've got this great village. It's like we just kind of call it the main village, which is not really appropriate anymore because it's not really that main these days, honestly. Is that it way over there? No, I think that's just a thing. I think that's just a thing. This has always been here, hasn't it? Or is this new? I think this has always been here. Yeah, that's always been there. Huh. I don't know. Oh, look, you can even see the library from here. Oh, that's awesome. This is going to be so epic when that is done. When that is completed, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Kuma says hashtag chat poll. Ooh, what kind of poll are we polling for? Man, I'm all the hungry. You know, speaking of hungry, I should probably go. Yeah, Kuma says, what should we name the original village? Yeah, that's a great chat poll. Yeah, because this is Seaside, as we know. If you can't really see the sign, but this is Seaside, is the name of this village here. My project area, my growing base. This guy's ready to cook, actually. Ready for the cooking. Steak is ready for the eating. Let's go ahead and do this, I suppose. Yeah. Fill it up. Mainly leather is one of the things we're going to need, too. Quill says, go over to my house in the village, derp. Okay, I'll go check out your house in the village. Let's go check it out. Shady Spike says, hi, Edison. Hey, Shady Spikes. You know what? Let's use Misadventure. I have not taken her out of her pen for ages. Now with all this Elytra business, there's really not a whole lot of occasion to take a horse out. Okay, your house. I think that's his house in the village. I think that's what this is. I think this is considered his house over here. Can I jump the fence? Whee, I can. I think this is Quill's quote-unquote house here. Panda Man says hello. Hello, Panda Man. Okay. How do I dismount? There we go. Done so long, I forgot. Let's see. Here lies Captain Shroom, a mushroom who wanted to see the world. Burned to a crisp January 30th, 2017. Moo. Oh no! What happened to Captain Shroom? Poor Captain Shroom. Where'd you go, Misadventure? This is why I can't take you places. The moment I let you wander all over the place. Misadventure, what are you doing down there? This is why we don't go. This is why you can't have nice things. Well, that's that. So there's a mushroom all the way out here? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's madness. Speaking of which, this area could really use this whole desert area. There's so much just little cleaning projects we really got to work on sometime. We need like a total like make the server beautiful campaign. We really do. We could use it. We could certainly use it. I mean, the server is already beautiful, but it's just got a bunch of little things that need touching up. A lot of things that need to be touched. A lot of touching going on. All right. So, here is the game plan, my friends. Here is my game plan, at least. And that is, I want to start some of the interior of the library. Now, I know that's kind of silly because I don't have all the walls. Like, the walls are, the shape is there, but they're not as tall as it's going to be. But I kind of want to get a feel for what the ground floor is going to look like and then work my way up from there, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange, but I think that's going to be the way this is going to work. I don't have a exact plan in mind for this. I have kind of a vision in my head of how I want this to look, but it's going to take a bit to get there. And a couple of things we're going to need is, hold on, I want to read the chat. Pandaman saying, how's everyone doing? I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. How about you, Pandaman? Shady Specs, it's really annoying when your horse runs away. Yeah, it is. No joke, man. Let's see. Quimo says, I tried to move a mushroom or two to the main area. It died in the fortress to blaze, barely missing me. Oh, no. Poor mushrooms. Poor mushrooms. So, what we're going to need is a lot of wood. Because I'm going to be using a lot of actual wood logs, not just planks. I feel a lot of logs are going to be used. So, that's going to take a lot. And I also need a lot of bookshelves. Way more bookshelves than you would think would be necessary for this kind of thing. Because it's going to be decked out to the brim with bookshelves. Lots of the stuff. Absolutely lots of the stuff. Okay, and I can already do that. Panaman says he lost his horse that way. Chaser says, got to go. The stream's still running. I'll be back. Awesome. Yeah, I do plan to. I started a little earlier than I planned, but I plan to keep going as late as I was going to go. So this should be, my goal is to make this a longer stream. I typically, sometimes with Minecraft, I try to do longer streams, and my brain just absolutely fries in the process. So we'll see how that goes. My plan is, I'm settled in for the long haul here. I'm not planning to do like a short little thing. I'm planning to make this one count, folks. So I hopefully will still be here when you're back. Let's see. Shakana says, and here I thought that horses only ran off into the sunset in Skyrim. You know, they do that, but the thing with Skyrim that's nice is you can just fast travel and the horse will follow you, but not so in Minecraft. They don't necessarily do that. Okay. Got some more logs. Grab some of these saplings. I just kind of like to periodically do this. This is kind of how I do wood buildings, is I just kind of have some stuff. What? How did I not notice this? Am I blind? What is going on here? Okay, not a good start if I'm missing, like, obvious portions of the trees here. George says, streaming again. Of course, I'm always streaming, at least as often as I can be. That is for sure. That is for sure. As often as I can be, I will be streaming. Okay. Let's go take a look at supplies here. Quillman says, I have to work for the next 2 days, but I want to try doing a CruxCraft stream on Thursday if I can. That would be cool. It's always, I enjoy watching your streams, Quill. I enjoy tuning in for those. Always fun. I don't actually watch a whole lot of people's live streams. So it's really fun when I get the chance to participate instead of just, you know, instead of just being, you know, the one doing the stream. I get to actually participate in it. All right, we're going to need lots of books. And put the paper away. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of bookshelves. See how many bookshelves we have at the moment. So close to enough. So close. Gonna need to make a few more of these. Yeah. Okay. So I've got what? Not nearly enough bookshelves. Seeing it there. That's not gonna be nearly enough. Shock says, I remember fast travel as a thing. I always walked between cities and world locations. Yeah, yeah, it's fun doing it that way. It really is. I'm going to take down the sign. I hope you don't mind, Quill. It's fun doing it that way where you just walk from place to place. It's a lot more immersive, really. Coleman says, sugarcane, pillar, sugarcane, brick wall. Yeah. Not sure I get it. But yes. So we're going to need to get a bunch more paper, actually, because I got a good amount of leather. So paper is what we're going to need to get a lot of bookshelves. So let's start gathering supplies, start working on the inside of this. Now, thankfully, paper, pretty easy to come by around these. Oh, yeah, I got to go this way. Yeah, I can get all the paper we need. No sweat there. And leather, I should really start up another. All right, I'm going to tear this down for now. Ah, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm going to do this because I don't really want him wandering over here. He gets into enough trouble as is. Coleman says, I love how Edison missed the Mumbo reference. Did I? I probably did. I haven't been watching a lot of Mumbo lately. Oh, Coleman says, remember you can trade with librarians for bookshelves. That's true. That's very true. I gotta remember that. Okay. Let's make paper. This can be perfect, because then I have 3 here. Perfect. And then let's make a bunch more books. Yeah, that's right, though. I can, and then let's make bookshelves. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Yeah, it's not. Close, though. That is true. We can trade with villagers to get lots of bookshelves. Honestly, I'd like to do it this way, though, since I've got a farm that makes both the leather and the sugarcane. It seems kind of silly to do it the other way. But, you know, I'm a silly guy sometimes. George says, I only watch your Skyrim streams because when you play, it's good to watch. Awesome! Glad you enjoy it, George. And Kuma says, I clocked a good chunk of damage on the sunken golems when I was on earlier today. Killed one. Oh, no! That's kind of sad. Don't let Ollie know. Okay, there's all kinds of assorted stuff in here, but nothing, for the poor, what is all this stuff in here? Oh, yeah, take this bookshelf, but this is not really what I had in mind for this place. Okay. Let's, I guess, grab this. My inventory is cluttering really quick, but we need to breed some more cows. Kuma said, I had to use my bow because holy crap, they hit hard. They do, man. Those iron golems are no joke. They are no joking matter. All right, let's just get, I don't know. That should be enough. It looks like this is the only one that really needs. Actually, let's just fill this thing up. Hey, Shocking us says the only Mumbo I know is Mumbo Jumbo from the old Banjo-Kazooie games. Oh, that's the good Mumbo right there. All right, let's get us some wheat. Someone says Mumbo Jumbo is also the name of a guy from Hermitcraft, but apparently there's no connection between the two. That is strange. I always wondered what the origin of Mumbo's name was on Hermitcraft. Why it is that he goes under that handle. I figured it had to be a connection to Banjo-Kazooie. Like, maybe that was I don't know, an old game. I think, didn't it used to be, like, way back, there were 2 people on the channel? There was a Mumbo and a Jumbo? Wasn't that a thing? I think that was a thing. All right, I'm going to ditch these seeds because we have way too many seeds. I think that was the thing. And then the person who went by Jumbo kind of got out of the game. And then it's just Mumbo. I think that's how it went. I could be wrong, though. Wow. There are a lot of cows in here. I might have to slim the herd at some point here to avoid too much lag issues, but it's just so nice when you need all of the supplies. But I know this thing could probably generate a whole ton of lag if it wanted to. George says, when will you play Skyrim? I usually do Skyrim. Lately, I've just been doing Skyrim as a weekend stream, so it's usually just on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know, man. I might do a lot more of it though during the week. I've been really at a stage in my YouTube career that I've been reevaluating a lot of things and considering just doing a lot of things a bit differently. And one of the things that might be is more Skyrim, more things like that. Because generally speaking, Skyrim goes really well for me. Alright, these little babies will get ready for their imminent demise. And I'll get more paper, got some more leather, because we're going to need lots of bookshelves. Lots of the stuff. The channel name never changed. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I'm glad that I've pretty much got my facts in order here. Okay, we'll grab some more sugar. I'm gonna need to trim out my inventory a little bit here to work on this stuff. But yeah, because lots of bookshelves is going to be key to this build. No doubt about that. Okay, now get these going, and oh, look at that. We should have enough to do all that leather. And then how much we got? That I should really be using dark oak for the wood. What am I talking about? Why would I not be doing that? I can get dark oak way faster. Yeah, this is way easier to get in large quantities. Of course, I still didn't have quite enough to do it, but that's okay. That's okay. I can do this. Okay. So now we have 44 bookshelves, and we're only really waiting on some more leather. So that's good news. George says, I have contacts in Bethesda Studios, and they gave me original mods. Oh, that's kind of cool. Quillman says, I was really wanting to throw a single mushroom in because it can't breed with cows unless it's sheared. A mushroom would be hilarious. It would be absolutely hilarious. All right, let's slim down my inventory a bit here because it's kind of out of control. Just a little bit out of control. Why do I have seeds? I don't even know what's going on here. Yeah. One thing we're going to probably need is to figure out how we want this sloping. Now, I do want the inside here to slope, but at a bit of a more leisurely pace than this. This is a pretty steep incline here. I don't know. Let's just start filling in the floor with what I want it to be. Now, actually, I don't want it to necessarily look like this. So let's experiment. I think what I was kind of thinking was oak log floor. And we're going to want to have this start kind of at the angle of here. So this arch is the start of the floor for in here. Does that make sense? That kind of makes sense, I think. So like this and this, like that, this. And that should be this way, maybe. I don't know. No. Never been particularly good at this kind of build. Oh, come on. Yeah. Quill says, for those who've not been here since episode 1, I'm a troll. Edison's house used to be sandstone and birch. That's true. Quill is absolutely the primary troll of the server, for sure. There's no denying that. All right. That's a thing. And I'll just like occasionally mix in like a... What if each of these, the actual corner, like the actual blocks that marked the transition were facing up? That might look kind of cool. Let's take a look here. That's kind of nice. I think that kind of works. Even maybe... Okay. Let's get crazy here. Because we're going to be a lot of experimenting here. There's going to be a lot of experimenting with some different things. Trying to find what works nice. I don't know how dark oak... That might look kind of nice, too. I'll consider that. I'll keep that in consideration. Another thought, though, is what if on the entrance point, this is going to be kind of weird. Bear with me. But if it was actually, like, just randomly a little lower elevation here, like this. So you just kind of, you don't even, often you don't even fall down any. Like, you just kind of cruise through. I don't know. It kind of works. Maybe even if it just went out another, like, block in each way. Because there's going to be a lot of variance. I goofed? I'm sure I did. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, this is probably where I goofed. Because I know those two are both facing the same way here. So this needs to be like this and that. That definitely is better. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. That doesn't surprise me at all. But there's going to be a lot of elevation changes in the floor. So that's why something like this actually looks kind of cool. And it definitely, distinguishes that, it definitely distinguishes that it's different. William says, I'm back, baby. Hey, William, what's going on? And also, Quill, another important point to mention is this log floor does not actually have to be, and I'm actually not intending to make it perfectly symmetrical. It's actually supposed to be a little bit of an ordered chaos. That's kind of very much a theme of this build here. Is a little bit of chaos, a little bit of randomness. William says, "Hey Ed, did you get a haircut?" I did. I just got a haircut this morning, actually. No beard cut. I'm just letting that grow out like crazy. But yes, I did. Thank you for noticing. I really like to keep my hair like super short, like practically bald, but not quite, Just shy of all the way bald. All right. But yeah, like just mixing in a random, random one of these and some that are face up, stuff like that. Like that's too ordered. Maybe like have it here. Stuff like that, just to kind of mix it up, just to kind of add some variance, add some variety here. Not all the time, obviously. That would be, I think, a little too much. But mixing up a bit, I think, will look nice. I wanted to have kind of a almost random, kind of chaotic, but yet interesting design. I think this is somewhat here. I'm not sold on this part. It might look nicer just being straight up. I'm going to just go with keeping it kind of like this for the moment, because when I elevate it, I'll show you in a moment what I'm going to be doing. And that might actually be enough to make it look kind of cool. This might be too much. Might very well be too much here. Let's do that. Yeah. Because it's a library, it doesn't mean it has to be, it doesn't have to be like utter chaos. Would be kind of, too much chaos would be, not very library-like, I guess. But just a little bit of variety. Quillman says, I'm doing a bit more thinking on doing a Pixelmon server. Ooh-hoo. If we set up gyms, what do you think you'd try for in terms of type and gym design? Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. I would love to do either ghost or dark type. Yeah, for the moment, I'm going to keep this all consistent with this pattern. I'd love to do either ghost or dark type. I figured, like, you'll probably want to do one of those two. So whatever one you're not doing, I'll probably do. So if you want to do ghost, I'll do dark. If you want to do dark, I'd do ghost. Something like that. But, yeah, that would be my preference, my first choice for that. Oh, out of logs. Should have some more in here. Maybe. Maybe. And I don't. Oh, no! All right, time to go cut some trees. And I better grab some saplings while I'm at it, so I can immediately replant. Let's see. Shakana says, what on earth is Pixelmon? And Quillman responds, Pixelmon is one of the most epic mods for Minecraft. That is a very good description. It's a Pokemon Minecraft thing. Yep. Yeah, it allows you to, it's a mod for Minecraft that puts Pokemon in it. Oh, that's a dark oak sapling. That's not going to help me. So, like, you'd be walking around in Minecraft, and, oh, look, there's a Pidgey over there, and you can go battle and catch it, and, like, it has the full mechanics of Pokemon. You know, battles, the whole thing. But it's in Minecraft, so it's really cool. It's really cool. Let's see. Quilman says, also, I'd honestly either do water or ghost. Makes sense. This is my top 2 favorite types. Cool. So then, I'd probably do dark then. Would be my my preference. Shakana says, how exactly does that work? If it's good, I'd look into Minecraft for that alone. Do it. Honestly, I've got mixed feelings on Pixelmon, but people who like it really get into it. It is truly a mod on an epic scale. Like, the amount they've done in that mod is just absolutely mind-blowing. Definitely worth looking into. Definitely worth looking into. Shadespec says, I'm back and with a belly full of meat. Awesome. You are ready to game, I take it then, huh? Ready to game. All right, I got a few more. I'm going to be running out of oak wood. I feel like that's going to be the problem here. There's a lot of lack with that. William says, have they added abilities yet? That's a good question. I don't know for certain. I don't, like I said, I haven't actually kept up that well with Pixelmon. Okay, so here's kind of what I'm seeing for this area. I'm just going to kind of fill out this spot quick while I've still got the supplies to do it, to show you kind of what I'm thinking for elevation changes. I kind of talked about it once before, but I want to touch bases with it again and just kind of remind myself too, and make any changes if it's changes are needed to be made. But say, now this is probably too steep of an incline, so I might, let's just start laying stuff down. Say we come up to here. Okay, now there's going to be this, and then these can be removed, and there'll be more logs, like, let's see, this would be that way, so I think this would be like that. Something like this, and then so like the floor, there's going to be a lot of change in elevation of the place and stuff kind of like this that will elevate it and such. Seeing this though, I don't know if I like, it's too much oak wood, I think. Oh, cool, they added the Calistar. That's cool. And, yeah, William's asking where you download Pixelmon. Yeah, if you just Google search Pixelmon, you'll find everything you need. I'm thinking that, honestly, dark oak. And, you know, dark oak floor might be better, too. I don't really know. Of course, there's dark oak walls, so floor might be overwhelming. But let's get some more dark oak planks, because that might look nice. Having it so that for the change of elevation kind of things, using dark oak planks mixed with regular oak logs. Or even, like, vary it a little bit, like, let's see. Something along these lines, but just have it so that there's a lot of that in here. So there's a lot of change in elevation, a lot of stuff like that, weaving and such. Quilman says, I like how this is looking, by the way. Oh, thanks. Shakana says, that's dope. I would love to see what all is there in there exactly. And if I do get it, I'd like to either do bug or steel as a gem. And Panaman says, I might get PC Minecraft solely for Pixelmon. Since I have a console Minecraft, nothing else really intrigues me difference-wise. Yeah, it's really cool stuff. That's awesome. Oh, Quilman says, thanks to YouTube for telling me that Edison is streaming. Just now got around to it, huh? All right, part of me wants to use dark oak for the floor, but The problem with that is the dark oak is already in the walls. I feel like that would be too much dark oak. This, I think, looks nice. This kind of checkered pattern here, I think, looks nice. I think that would be, you know, that little bit of variance, I think, is a good contrast. It works. I think doing too much of it on the floor, unless it was like an exact alternating pattern, like every one facing this way, for example, was dark oak. Let's just take a little sample size here. That might be okay. Let's just do a quick little sample. That might look all right. Let's continue trying this, because this might be on this line, because otherwise it'll take a lot of oak, and that could take quite a while to keep getting enough of that. I can get some bone meal and do it that way, but still, that's a pretty time-consuming project just to get the resources. And dark oak goes a lot faster. Quill says I should spruce it up. That's another option. That is definitely another option. I haven't really used spruce much in this area, and that's why I kind of hesitate. You know, a lot of the big Minecraft builders, the ones who really try and do a lot of advanced builds, Shakana says, checkered looks classy. Good call. Awesome. But the thing that a lot of them say is when you're making a build, particularly a big one, you really want to keep your palette of what blocks you're using limited. So only keep it to just a certain amount of blocks. The more you add, the harder you make it on yourself to really make it look nice and consistent. And I don't want to add too many different colors and different kinds of wood. I want to keep my palette kind of controlled. And since I've been doing a lot of oak and dark oak, I kind of my preference would be to keep it to those if I can make it look nice. Yeah, this is definitely an improvement, and it will cut down severely on the amount of oak I need. And I think that looks good for a library. Kuma says, the spruce wood is my favorite, obviously. That's true, that's true. The spruce does look nice. And I do love the idea of using some other woods, but I kind of want to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, checkered is the way to go here. Hands down, this is better. And it's going to give me... It's going to pay back a lot of... I don't think I need ender pearls in my hotbar right now. It's going to give me a lot more oak logs. You know, reduce the burden on that, so that I won't run out quite as quickly. And that's a good thing, because I get a lot more dark oak. Yeah, this is looking nice, though. This is looking real nice. Oh, Afreet's here, and I noticed this time, Afreet. Hello, Afreet. I noticed you right away. I immediately see you. How are you doing, my friend? And, okay, break out the monocles. This is getting classy. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm classy enough for monocles. Wait, is that a crab with a top hat and a monocle? That's too much. Come on, Master Chief. Wait, no. I hope some of you might have seen what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then any of my Skyrim fans, if you do not know what I'm talking about, go look up Ultimate Skyrim, and you will not regret it. You will not regret it. I guarantee it. But I can't quote. Let's just say I want to keep this channel somewhat PG, and so I can't quote too much of that. But it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, raise those brows as high as they will go. Yep. Shady Spike says, I'm back for the third time because my internet overheated. Yikes! See, Hideyoshi's seen it. Good. I hope you've seen it. It's worth seeing for sure. And by the way, hi Hideyoshi. How you doing? All right. Yeah, this is looking good. Mods are too much these days. They can be. You can get really overboard with mods for sure. For sure you can. Okay. Now, let's... I kind of want to... I don't know exactly. I kind of want to keep a bit of the natural curvature of the land to this. You know, make it so the room slopes a bit. I don't know if I want to keep it exactly. It might be unnecessary, but okay, no, that's not how it needs to be. There we go. Actually, that's probably not how it needs to be either. That's too high up. We need everything, it needs to be smooth. Smooth like butter. Alright, so if that one's there, that means we need one of these here. And then that there? No. 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 Yeah, I might have to get a few more blocks up here to start with. Let's see. Bing. And yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Sendream sneaks in like a ninja. Oh, Crazy Quilm was calling him. Hi, Beekeeper. That's awesome. Oh. Won't let me do it that way. Just gotta do this. And this. And then we can do this and this. And this here needs to be one of these. This needs to go. Does it? Yeah, it can go. And yeah. So like you walk in and there's going to be like probably like a bunch of bookshelves. Over here is naturally a bit flatter, and over here it elevates quite a bit. So I kind of want to keep that more or less. And I think that's going to look really cool. William says, this is very highbrow entertainment. Okay, I'll stop. Quill says, that's not how you would do that. Oh, Quill, no. Not the puns. Anything but the puns. All right. So now that I got kind of an idea of how this is going to look, I'm going to start extending this out this way some more. And beep, 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 beep. I should probably go replenish my supply of wood pretty soon here, because this is going to burn through it. Burn through the stuff. All right. So I think this is going to be like the next height here. Maybe elevate it one more for here. That would look kind of nice, I guess. Okay. So at the corner. How do I do this? Let's see. This would be that way. And this would be here. Yeah. That looks about right. Yes, and then this will be the next height up here, I'm thinking. Something like this. Something like this. So we'll have a little bit of a row here. This is going to be kind of crazy because, like I say, there's so much variance in the height here. But, yeah. Dylan Minecraft Gamer says, hi. Hey, how's it going? Shady Spike says, will you ever do vlogs again? I might. I never really know what to say in vlogs. So I kind of like use them for, like, updates. Like if I need to communicate to a mass audience, like on all my people, and the people who don't like follow me on Twitter, you know, because a lot of people I can just communicate and hit them up on Twitter, and they get the message. But not everyone follows me on Twitter, but you should if you don't. So I sometimes use vlogs like for that, but I don't know. I should. It's kind of one of those things like people are always like, oh yeah, you should be vlogging, but it's never really felt natural to me to do it for other things other than like news updates, you know, if that makes sense. This is gonna need to be bing. So I never really know what I'm supposed to be saying or doing or whatever. Shade Space says, how much longer will you be streaming? Probably another hour or so, or until my brain totally loses all of its higher faculties, whichever comes first, you know. Probably for about another almost hour or so. Maybe 50 minutes, something like that. For a while still. William says, hopefully I need to go. Hopefully I'll be back before you're done. Yeah, hopefully. That'd be good. That would be good. All right, let's move Mumbo, my shovel, my spoon. Cut down some oak. Plop down an oak. I could make this go faster with some bone meal, but this, which I might have to do, because dark oak, no problem. Regular oak, they aren't that big of trees. If only you could, like, put 4 oak saplings next to each other and you get another, like, big oak. That'd be awesome, like the dark oak. That'd be awesome if that happened, but I don't think it does. I don't think so. Shady Spike says, I'll follow you on Twitter. Awesome, awesome. And Quimmer says, hashtag passive-aggressive Twitter plug. Yup. Centurion says, hashtag Edison bravely deep fries his brain. Yum. Probably not good. I've been watching a lot of the show Hannibal lately, which is about a cannibal. So talking about deep fried brains is making me kind of hungry. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm a terrible person. I'm a really terrible person. Another thing I'm planning on doing is probably knocking out some of the cobblestone parts and putting glass for windows when I finish building this up a ways. So here's kind of my game plan. I have an idea of how this is going to go up there. I want to finish laying out the floor of the ground floor so I can keep working on that. And then I'll continue the upper stuff. Because there's so much here. It's kind of like, okay, how do you even begin, right? So we're going to just begin with the ground floor and just take it one step at a time from there. So we're going to get all of this floor laid out and then take it up a notch. Just kind of lather, rinse, repeat. Oh, that's not going to work. That won't work at all. Quill says, hashtag Southerners bravely deep fry Oreos. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. I've always wanted to try a deep fried Oreo, but I've never had the guts to wait. That's not what goes there. That's not what goes there. I've done wrong this time. There we go. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, alternating the checker pattern is, I think, a very good call. It makes it kind of busy, but not, like, too busy. And it's predictable. Unique Gaming says, hey, I'm back. Hey, welcome back, Unique Gaming. That's awesome. Quillen says, Hannibal Lecter says you should always try new things. And Afreet says, hashtag Edison is a zombie. I mean, don't knock it till you try it. Unique Gamer says, thanks for the shout out. Oh, of course. Typically in my streams, Unique Gamer. I don't know if you've been in many of these, but I'm not so huge of a YouTuber that I'm not able to give, like, attention to most people. Most of the time, if you show up for my streams and talk and chat, I'm able to interact with you and talk, and it's a good time. It's a fun time. It's, I think, a fun time. Let's see. Shakana says, ads variety was still uniform and not overly busy. Awesome. I'm glad you like that. Glad you approve. Like I say, I'm liking how this is looking. And I think with the cobblestone, really accents it nicely. It doesn't look, this part, the cobblestone doesn't really look so great. I had to do it kind of to make this angle work, but doesn't look so good on this side. So over here, I might try and cover this up, maybe with a bunch of, like, bookshelves or something to cover it up, because it doesn't really look the greatest. You know, this right there just doesn't. Sendream Meg says, I feel like Edison's glitchy Enderman may come back to haunt him. It haunts me in my dreams, man. You have no idea. The glitchy Enderman. Let's see. Unique Gaming says, can I ask you a question? Of course. You just did, in fact. You just did ask me a question. But you can ask me another if you'd like. All right. Yeah, this is what's happening. I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck. All right. Shakana says, I especially like how you're layering the dark blocks with grain going one direction, lighter blocks going the other. Yeah, that I think that's looking nice. Like, there's just a nice bit of variety. They could all be, you know, since I'm using different blocks, they could be all going the same direction. But this is a nice way to do it. I think you're right. Let's do that. Do that. Do that. It's a little trickier here. Not really like tricky, just a little bit more awkward spacing that I have to work with. And that, and that. And then this. Let's see. Unique Gaming says, "Can I be a mod?" Quill's answer's right. Probably not. No, I'll only mod people who I like know and trust, and like honestly I don't really mod that many people in general. So it's nothing personal about you or against you. It's just I don't really need a lot of mods at this point, so I don't really have a lot, and I'm not really looking for a whole lot right now. But never hurts to ask. Certainly doesn't hurt to ask. Okay. Let's go get some more wood, because I am burning through the oak. Burning through the oak. All right, let's scooch this. Krillman says, "So Free, does Discord have video?" You know, I've really got to learn more about Discord. Everyone's been telling me I need to get Discord. And I don't even really know that much what it is. Like, it's a thing, I guess. I don't really know much about it. Can someone enlighten me as to Discord? Give me the pitch. Because I keep hearing I should have it. I'm like, I don't have it. I don't really know entirely what it is. I probably should get on that. That's how I am with so many things, so I really should get into things. See, Tommy Film says, "Hi. Hey, how's it going?" And Quill says, "Edison's good about being on top of his own chat." Yeah, I try to be. You know, that's actually, honestly, that's something I've got going for me, I think, is that, although I have enough people who participate in my streams that it's fun. It's, you know, there's a lot of people there, you know, but not so many people that it's, have I done wrong? I've done wrong. I've done wrong here. Not so many people that it's hard that, like, when you chat, it gets lost in the mix. Like, I'm able to keep up with the people who are here, and that's really cool. If I was too much bigger of a YouTuber, it'd be a lot more challenging to do that. So that's one of the things that's nice about, like, this exact size of a following is, even though it's not, like, huge, massive numbers, I'm able to really be direct one-on-one with the audience I have, and that's really cool. I like that. I think that's a really nice nice thing to be able to do. Let's see. Free says, "Let's not hear him sing, though." That's true. That is true. Quill's ears have not recovered from the last time I sang. Let's see here. Shock and Awe says, "I don't think so, Quill," in response to if it has video. It's for chat for games. Works on phone and PC as a replacement for Skype/TeamSpeak. Cool. That sounds like something I should probably get into. I know everyone says, like, I should. So I should probably at least look into it. Because usually if a lot of people are saying, hey, you should really get on this hype train, then they're not necessarily always right, but it's usually worth looking into at the very least. And I'm going to need more oak. I'm running out of oak. Professor Oak, I need you. All right. Let's see here. Quillman says, "Edison should never be allowed to sing," and that's coming from me. Ouch. My future career as a singer, ruined. All right. I'm going to need to bust out some bone meal here. Clutter my inventory further. Because that's not growing fast enough for me. It's not growing fast enough to meet my demands. So I'm going to grab a bunch of the bone meal. Shotgun says, "That floor space is a lot larger than I thought it was." Yeah, it is big. It is a really big building. Tommy says, "What are you working on?" I am working on a library. Little backstory. This area over here is my, I call it the seaside village. It's a village over on the ocean, but this is like where I'm making all of my automated farms. Like there's a cow cooker in here that's disguised as like a burger joint, which actually I can cook now. They're ready. So this gets me all my leather and my beef. It's loud in here too. And I got a sugarcane farm, a villager breeder, all that kind of stuff. And this is going to be a library where I'll organize a bunch of librarian villagers and all kinds of cool stuff. A whole bunch of stuff for, what am I doing? I'm losing my mind, guys. Sorry. Okay, there's that brain fry again. This is where I'll be putting a lot of librarian villagers and a whole bunch of stuff for enchanting. I'll organize it by which librarians have good book trades, which ones will have like good enchanted books. So that way when you want to get a new set of gear set up, right, you can just go in here and just kind of go shopping and get all the things you'll need to, your mending book, hopefully, unbreaking, efficiency, all that kind of stuff will be all in one neat and easy place. And I think that's going to really be useful. And also, I like libraries. I'm a big book reader, so I like the idea of having a big, impressive library. It's kind of a vanity project to a degree, because I could easily make something a lot smaller and get the same end. But it's going to look really nice, I think. I think it's going to be worth the effort. See. Tommy says, I wish I could build that well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm getting better. Getting better. I watch a lot of people who build way better than I do, so you just kind of pick up some tricks that way. And you just practice a lot, too. Building in Minecraft is like art, It is art. It's a certain kind of art, and like any art, you kind of have to practice to get better. All right, that's enough for the moment. Quill says, Super Bowl? You mean that set of awesome commercials with some boring game in between the main show? It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. I'm not much of a sports person in general, so I'm kind of in the same boat as you there, Quill. It's like, yeah, Super Bowl, woo, go team. I don't really know. I've never been too much of a sports kind of guy. Never quite done it for me. But more power to you if you like it. More power to you. All right, let's bing, 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 bing. Ooh. Just hearing crashing around upstairs. Must be the kids. Yeah, this library though is going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be absolutely a massive structure. I think when I was first laying it out, it didn't really seem that huge until you really start to see just how massive this thing is going to be. And then it's like, holy moly, this thing is going to be a beast. But, that's how you do it. Now, something I'm going to have to think about here, too. Freet says, Shizzy hasn't read my last comment. Oh, what was the last comment? Now I'm missing it. The thing that I'm going to have to figure out is lighting. That could actually be a bit of an issue. I should try and find some way to disguise, glowstone or something into it. Some kind of big chandelier using end rods would look really cool. But a chandelier with end rods would look really cool, right when you walk in here, a big, awesome chandelier. But it wouldn't necessarily light up all the corners. So I'm going to have to think about a way to disguise, probably into the floor. Maybe with, carpet. Maybe have, carpeted area run through here alongside it. And I could easily, under the carpet, I can add, what's it called? I can add glowstone, and that would take care of it. And I feel like if I got the right color of carpet, it could look nice in here. Kind of to, light, send the paths. Oh, hey, down the aisles, there's going to be carpeted and stuff. I think that could work. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is have the raised elevation more on this side of the building and flatten this area out. So this whole area is going to be flat. This whole part is going to be on this one height. Let's see. Unique Gaming says he's skipping my comments. I didn't catch all of it. Sorry. It's actually a fairly busy chat, so I get kind of in the zone sometimes. I do try to catch most of them, but I do miss some now and again. Let's see. Also, you're talking, see a decent amount of football talk, which is kind of all foreign to me. I don't really know. I don't know too much about it, so if you say so. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more cobble here to send it all the way down. Let's just. Yeah, this is where I think a lot of the bulk of the ground floor space is gonna be. Quill says he's kind of focused on the game. And he also says, more carpets for the petting of cars. Exactly. I need some carpets for the petting of cars. Let's see. All the sand. I'm getting way too much sand from this, which is going to be nice because I need some glass. So sand's decently useful to have. As far as things go. Okay. And Unique Gaming, let's keep the language a little bit more PG in the chat, okay? Try to keep it a little bit more, respectful. I'm sure you can do that. Okay. Let's see. Panda Man was gonna hop on the computer when I realized I can't. Oh, that's too bad. That's always unfortunate. Okay. Let's start filling in some floor. I don't have nearly enough oak for this, though. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Let's see. Let's do this. And this is still... No, wait. I done goofed. Stop. I done goofed. I don't know how I was starting to do that. I must be hitting that Minecraft brain fry that happens to me. It does happen. It's a real thing, man. It's a real medical condition. The Minecraft brain fry. Talk to your doctor. Let's see. Quillman says sand equals salt? Ooh. Interesting theory. It could be. And says, Shotgun says, Edison, did you mean to knock the sand out from under the stone on the far wall? Well, the thing is, there's going to be floor up to this elevation. So it's going to be, like, covering here. So my thinking is, you're not going to be able to see that sand there. And I will extend this down as needed. But I figure I'll just work my way over to here and just kind of clean it up as needed when I get closer. Shady Spikes says, hey, Edison, I just pledged $5. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shady Spikes. That is absolutely fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I believe you did it in time, too, for this coming month's round of pledges, because they kind of process everything at the start of the month. And that means if that all goes through, you'll be able to join in on the server if you'd like. That's exciting news. We need some fresh blood on here. It's been a while since we had any new people on the CruxCraft server. Oh, that's exciting news. Thank you, Shady Spikes. Freed says, why don't you... Hold on a second. Let me get my stuff organized here. Says, why don't you talk to each other? Why don't you talk to each other? Let's see. Yuki's here. Says, hi, Edison. Hey, how's it going? Fantastic. We're getting a good crew in here. That's awesome. This is coming along. Like I say, I just need... The only bottleneck is getting the oak wood that I need. And that's a little bit of a bottleneck. Not too much, though. Now that I've busted out the heavy guns, using the what's it called? Bone meal, it's going a bit faster. Ooh, here we go. We got a big one. I mean, not really that big, but a little bit bigger. There's a few more extra logs. I missed any? I think I knew there must be another rogue in there. And I think that's everybody now. Alright, cool. Let's see. Shady Spike says, can you add me to your realm? Yes, at the when all the Patreon stuff processes, which is at the start of the month, so you actually have perfect timing, then that's when all like the payments go through, and that's when then I go through and do any adding and changing in one big bit there. So yes, assuming everything goes through smoothly there, I would love to add you to the realm. That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great having you on the server, Shady Spikes. That is gonna be fantastic. Okay, how much oak do I got? 20 some. That should be. Now let's get a little more while I'm at it. While I'm here, there we go. Yuki says, I'm good, Edison, and you. I am doing fantastic. I'm really, really pleased with how this build is coming along. I'll show you in a minute. I mean, just gotta get some more oak wood. But I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. This is looking to be a really impressive build. I wanted this to be something that's big, that's impressive, that's a little, I want to say intimidating. Not really like intimidating, but I want it to be imposing. I want it to feel grand. I want it to feel big. This is the biggest building in Seaside, and I want it to really feel like it. Yeah, this is what we're working on so far. We have this kind of pattern for the floor, and it's looking really cool, I think. I think it's looking really cool. I need to drop off some of the sand, though. Let's see. Shadespec says, my username on Minecraft is box95. Fantastic. Yeah, just let me know more of the details when all that stuff goes through at the start of the month. Should be within a week or so from now. And I will get you in here. That is fantastic news. That is fantastic. Okay. I think we're just using those two right now, really. Quillman says, not sure if I'm hearing a fight downstairs or just joking around really loudly. That awkward moment that you're not sure if they're fighting or joking. And Yuki says, sorry I missed the Skyrim stream yesterday. No worries, no worries. It's always nice to have you, but that is why the archive is there too. It was a good one. It was a good one. We're getting pretty far in the Thieves Guild. Getting into the Thieving Guild. You know how we like them, how all that not very lawful stuff in Skyrim. My character in Skyrim is such a not good person. And he's in dire need of skooma too. Let's see. Quilma says, hashtag isn't the biggest building on the server, Edison. I didn't say it was the biggest building on the server. I said it was the biggest building in Seaside. Or if I did say server, I meant to say biggest building in Seaside. Because it is. You know, otherwise I think the sugarcane farm might be, but it's pretty, like, it's wide, or it's long, but it's pretty flat. So this is going to be the biggest part of Seaside so far. And that, I think, is true. It's not the biggest on the server, though. That is absolutely true. Panda Man says, I forgot how the Patreon things work. Is it a certain amount every month, or is it a one-time thing? It is a certain amount every month. Think of it like choosing to do a monthly donation. So, like, say you want to pledge, and they call it pledging, $5 a month. And that money goes to me every month to help improve the quality of my videos. It gives me a budget, basically, is what it does. It allows me to do things like get a new headset, which this is a new one I got that I think it's better audio quality than the other one I had. That was kind of something that needed updating. And it allows me to do better videos and grow as a channel. It allows me to buy new games that I can stream, all that kind of stuff. In general, the money that you pledge really goes towards improving the videos for everyone. And that's really a cool thing. Do I have some cobble on me? I do. And every month, it automatically pays. You just, like, you put in, like, your information or whatever, and it just automatically at the start of the month pays out that amount. You can change it whenever. You can cancel whenever, whatever. But there's some benefits, too, that a lot of people on Patreon give. Like, for me, people who donate $5 or more a month are able to play on this server, on the CruxCraft server, with me. And that's really cool. And there's a few other little benefits, but mostly, at least for me, the way I use Patreon, it's mostly just as a way to help show your support and kind of like leaving a tip, you know? If you really enjoy the videos I do, then that's a great way to really show your support and help make them great. Let's Let's see. Shadeswick says, "Can I ask a question about the CruxCraft?" Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was in the middle of a spiel there. I lost track of some of the comments there. But yes, absolutely. Ask away, my friend. Ask away. Yuki says, "I never played Skyrim, but I heard it's good." Yes, it is really good. I mean, I love Skyrim. Skyrim's probably my all-time favorite game, just hands down. If it's not my favorite, it's in the top 3. But it's a fantastic game. I mean, if that kind of game isn't your style, then it might not do it for you. I know for me, like it just like hits the nail on the head with the kind of game I want to play. So I really, really love it. But maybe it's not quite for everyone. It is really good though if you like that. If you like that kind of game, then yeah. Let's see. Chroma says, "I feel there's little audio difference, but it's less bulky looking." It's definitely, yeah, this headset's definitely not as bulky. I listened to the two, like, go back to one of the earlier videos and listen, and you can hear it's not really, the other one's not, like, tinny, but particularly when my voice is, like, highly elevated, which, hey, I don't know if you guys know, sometimes my voice gets kind of elevated when I'm streaming. I get kind of excited. It just kind of, I don't know, loses some quality. It's not the greatest. It was doable, but I feel like this is a step in the right direction. Freet says, oh, he's saying, "Hey, Quill, guess what?" Oh, boy. So it's not directed at me, so I'll let Quill answer that one. Let's see. Shady Spike says, "Can you notify me on Twitter when I can join?" Yes, I can do on Twitter. Also, it probably has an email address when you joined on Patreon. And I probably will contact you there. With the email that you put up on there, would that work out okay too? Because that's the easiest thing I'd have access to. I don't know if I follow you on there, but maybe I do. I have to double check. But yes, I will definitely notify you when you're all set to join on the server, and it will be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be fun. We need some fresh blood on here. Totally. Let's see. Shocking says, "Skyrim is a top 10 game for almost everyone. Still like Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest more though." That's cool. Panman says, "In order to get on the server, it's $5. Yes. Yes, it is. $5 per month is the amount. And again, you can do it just like for a month or two. And if it's not your thing, you can always, cancel at any time. But yes, that's the amount to join on the server is $5 a month. To go towards making these videos. Awesome. Wait, that's the wrong kind of sapling. I need the dark oak here. And for $5 a month, you get to not only help my videos be better, but you get to play with me, which I'd like to think is fun. I'd like to think that's a fun thing. Yuki says, "This summer I'm getting a job for minimum wage to get a laptop, Minecraft, and to donate $5 to you." Fantastic! That is exciting news. On a lot of fronts, not just for the donating part, although that's obviously cool, but, getting a job, getting a little bit of funds, that's always a nice thing. And Minecraft is an awesome game. Again, right up there with one of my favorite games. So, awesome stuff. Glad to hear it. How much? I've only got 8 of the oak. Not enough, man. Not enough. All right, we're going to have to... Ooh, hi. That just sprouted out of nowhere. Gonna need more oak. I'm gonna need to replenish my axe pretty soon. 17 says, "What? Salty died? Dude, Salty died twice, man." He has the hardest time staying alive. Like, it's really bad. I have a really hard time keeping that snowman alive. It's because this area, there's a few spots that mobs spawn, and mobs just show up and start killing him. It was kind of funny in one of the videos. I don't remember which one it was. He's just like throwing snowballs at this at a zombie, and I'm just like cheering him on, like, "Yeah, get him, Salty, yeah!" And then, because I thought he'd be okay, he seemed like he was doing fine. He didn't need my help, and then he kind of died. It was sad. Shady Spike says, "Not really sure how to add my email to the page, so can you tell me?" Okay. Tell you what, Shady. To make sure that we get you taken care of, send me a message on Twitter, or like tweet at me or something on Twitter. so I can make sure that I have your Twitter info, because I can, and then I can get in touch with you there. So just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll make sure that you get notified when things go down. Okay? Sound like a plan? Shakana says, I've not seen your videos, Quill, but I will go check them out. Have you taken a peek at my Nuzlocke at all? Awesome. That's cool. I think, yeah, I know I saw, Shakana, that you had, I went to check out your Animal Crossing playthrough. I didn't really look into any of the Nuzlocks you had up, though. I'm actually really bad. I don't really watch nearly enough YouTube stuff. Like, I watch very few things. Mostly I'm making content less than I'm consuming it, which I guess is probably like a good thing. I feel like I'm missing out on some great content that I'd love to be able to catch up on. Okay. Panama says, I'll try June or July when I have money. I'm saving for Nintendo Switch right now, but that would be first priority after. Awesome! Well, I'm glad to hear it, Panda Man. It'd be great to play with you on here as well. And just great to have your support, you know? Always deeply appreciated. Like I say, awesome patrons like the people I currently have make it possible for me to really keep growing this channel and keep having, like I say, kind of having a budget so I can do really cool things and get more games and do more stuff. And it's good. It's really good. I'm so bottlenecking on the oak, though. I need all of the oak wood. All of the oak! Let's see. Shady Spike says, I'll do that now. Awesome! Yeah, hit me up on there, and I'll make sure that, we're taken care of. Make sure that you get in on the action when the time comes. I saw that one just grew over there. That's nice. Okay, here we go. There we go. Shakana says, yeah, I saw you saw my first episode of AC. Thanks for lunch checking out. Episode 2 is still up, but it's not a full day. It's a montage of the week's events. That's kind of cool. That's a cool way to do it, actually. How long is it? Because I know, doing like a montage seems like a good way to do it, and if you don't want to do like a video every day of it, which can be kind of challenging, I found. I originally thought, oh yeah, just pop on, we'll just do a little Animal Crossing every day, but I didn't realize, like I thought when I started that series that I could do the day's Animal Crossing in like maybe 20 minutes, and it wouldn't be too big of a thing. Doesn't usually work out that way. Once in a while I can get by with a shorter Animal Crossing stream, but typically they're of decent length. So, did I get all these guys? So, it's been kind of harder to keep up with Animal Crossing. I started with such big intentions of, popping on and streaming it every day, and it just didn't quite hold out as well as I hoped it would. But, that happens. That happens. You live, you learn, you try. You can't say I don't try, that's for sure. Coleman says, and yeah, you can make videos on the server if you have equipment for it. Yes, I actually strongly encourage people who are patrons to make videos on the server, because that's just so much fun. If you don't make videos, like if video YouTube stuff isn't your thing, then that's fine too. It's just great to have people. But if you do like to make YouTube videos, then I strongly encourage doing videos on here. Like, I'll do collaborations with you in all likelihood, and kind of cross-promote and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into doing YouTube and you like to do Minecraft, that can be a decent way to get some eyeballs checking out what you do, because I will happily collaborate with patrons who are on the server who are, it's like if you're supporting me, then I'm happy to support you. Shoot. Oh, this is a big one. This is the tree I've been waiting for, guys. This is the tree that I've needed. All right. Yeah. This is the oak tree that I've been wanting, and it's getting dark, so I'm probably gonna get assaulted by mobs because that whole area that I have is not lit up at all at the moment. Let's see. Quimman says, I gotta say, just a quick look at the Nuzlocke series. I have issues playing Gen 3 games. That's on me, though. It looks great. Awesome. It's cool to hear that you got some good stuff, Shocking. Always cool. You seem like a cool guy. I'd be love to check out more of the stuff you do. Like I say, I don't even have enough time. I've been really wanting to catch up on some of the series Quill has. He's got some fun stuff, and I hardly even get enough time to watch too many of even the ones I like have on my to watch list. I have a hard time doing. Josh says, "I've arisen." Hello, Josh. What's up? Chroma says, Morgan Morgan has been too busy for videos. Morgan is too good for us. No, he's not. Yeah. The thing with Morgan, I've been talking to him. I've been razzing him like for ages about trying to get him to do more videos. Because he's been talking about wanting to do videos, and he doesn't follow through. And yes, I realize that I have a shovel, and I'm just too lazy to switch out to it. Which actually created more work for myself than if I just got the shovel in the first place. But the thing with Morgan is he's kind of like an audio nut. Like in real life, he's all about audio. I just get the shovel. And he really doesn't like, he's just using the audio, like the microphone and such from his laptop, and he just hates the sound of it. So honestly, the reason that he hasn't been doing videos has more to do with he just can't stand the sound of his own, the quality of audio that he's currently able to do. That's his biggest reason right now. But he's looking at investing in a better one. So hopefully he gets on it soon. That would be lovely. I'd love to see him doing videos. Let's see. Josh Bailey says, "Hey, Sendream Quill." You guys are hilarious. You guys. All right, let's just keep this going. Shocking us saying, "Thanks for the feedback, Quill." Awesome. I'll let them kind of carry on their conversation. I won't be displaying it everywhere. Very cool. Awesome. We got a cool little crew going on here. I feel like it's neat. Like I'm looking into the chat and I'm seeing conversations among my fans sprouting out. Like it's really cool for me getting to the point that these streams are enough of a thing that not all of the conversations in the chat are directed at me. Like, it's really becoming a community here, which is really cool. That's really, really neat, I think. I love it. And Shadespix, there I put a tweet on your Twitter. Awesome. Yo, dog, I heard you like Twitter. So I tweeted at your Twitter. Fantastic. Thank you, Shady Spikes. And this does not go there. I mean, it does go there, but not facing that direction. Thank you for that. I will keep in touch. And like I say, at the start, usually within the first week, everything, like throughout the first week, it charges people. And at like the end of that first week of the month, batch does everything to me. So usually by like the 7th or 8th, I get everything processed. And then you're good to go. Then you'll be good to go. Which is fantabulous. Let's see. What are we doing here? No, wait, what am I doing? I'm going to need to fix up my axe here, too. Because, yeah, we're at... Well, I don't have my details on there. My little... whatever it's called. But I'm going to need to go get this thing touched up pretty soon here. But we're almost done with... Oh, wow. I keep bonking into this, and that's throwing off my groove. Throwing off my groove. But I'm almost done with this part of the floor, of the ground floor. This is a big project. It's a very big project. All right, I think before this gets any worse, I'm going to go heal up. But look at this. Look at this. Think of the beautiful stuff we can do with this, guys. This is going to look gorgeous when we're done. This is going to look gorgeous. It's already looking pretty gorgeous. Oh. Hi, outside. There we go. And there we go. Okay, cool. That should be fine. Chroma says, Edison, are you a kid or a squid? I feel like there's an inside to this joke, and I don't know what this inside is. So I'm just going to say yes, and leave it at that. All right. Let's go ahead and rocket my way out of here. Ow. That Wow, what a what a fail. It's like, yep, I'm just going to ender pearl on top of this building. All right, I'm just going to ender pearl into the water. Twice? Twice? Wow, I'm a pro gamer, guys. Pro gaming right here. Let's just throw that, just see where luck chucks it. All right, that's not really helpful, but whatever. Good going, Edison. Slow clap. All right. Whee! Pandaman says, I guess I'll have to get Minecraft on the PC first. Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to go. It really is still, like they've done great things with the other versions of, they've done great things with the other versions of Minecraft. But still, the PC at the moment does have the best content and the best support for the time being. Eventually, I'd love to see a point when, like, they're all equal, but, Senju says, no, Edison, there's no inside joke. Uh-huh. For some strange reason, I don't quite believe that. Let's see if, talking about when I do a, Smash stream, they want to tag team Greninja me. And Quill's saying I'm not doing Smash for a while. And yeah, that is fairly true. I'm at the moment not really, I don't know, I'm not really planning on doing a whole lot of Smash right now. I do like Smash. I do like Smash. I do like Smash a lot, but I haven't really been getting as into it for the I don't know. Honestly, what it comes down to, if I'm going to be like a bit more honest, is I don't want to break my 3DS capture. That's kind of where it gets down to, and it's kind of old. It's kind of, I've had it a while, and before I had it, it was someone else's, and I don't want to break it. And I feel like that game where you're kind of moving around and such, kind of rough on the controllers. I feel like, if like I were to be playing and just getting a little too into it and something happened, I'd be out my 3DS capture, which is really not only expensive to replace, but just hard to replace. Like, you can't always get a replacement even if you have the money. So, oh, look at this. Don't even have to do anything. Don't even have to approach the enderman. Okay. I might turn down the game's audio here a little bit, because these guys are kind of loud. That's video. Music and sound. Master volume, let's just drop this down to 11 for the moment. Let's see. Shotgun says, hashtag PC Master Race. Wow, this is probably still too loud. Yeah. Alright. This is... Alright, how's that, folks? That's a little better. A little better. Yes, I am all about the PC gaming. That's very much my preference. Very much my preference. Afreed says, hey, Edison, ever heard of Splatoon? I have, and I've never played it, but I really want to. It looks really fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I'd love to play Splatoon. Shadeswag says, Edison, do you need a Realm subscription to join CruxCraft? And Quill already answered him, said, no, you don't. That's correct. You do not. You just need a valid Minecraft, the valid paid Minecraft account. And then you're good to go. I just have to add your name to the whitelist, and you're golden. You're golden. Senju said, look up if you're a kid or a squid. Okay, it's a Splatoon joke. That makes sense. That makes sense. And Shakana said, if I was going to do Smash, I'd do if I was going to do Smash, I would do Brawlhalla instead. I did check out Brawlhalla. I don't remember who it was who suggested it in one of my streams before, but someone suggested Brawlhalla, and I did check it out, and it looks really cool. It seems fun. Like, I just did a little bit of tinkering with it. That I might try that at some point, but I don't know, man. On the 3DS, like, I don't know, it's got me nervous, you know what I mean? That's valid. It seems valid. Chroma says, boy, do I know the feeling not being able to get a 3DS capture. Yeah, you see, you know what I mean, Quill. You know exactly what I mean here. Like, and why I might be kind of nervous. Like, it's the old style. Like, if you see, this is the capture here, and it's the old style 3DS. You know, like the original kind. It's old. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but these things, you know, you can be rough on them, and they sometimes don't, you know, sometimes they just don't. I'm just going to add to the pile of ender pearls over here. I'm not going to be part of the solution. I'm going to be part of the problem. And pop this back here. I probably should replenish this, too, while I'm here. Now that I think about it. Let's see. Chroma says, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare is like the weak older brother to Splatoon. Oh, cool! It says, I own that because it's available for PC. I love Plants vs. Zombies, but and I play it, but I'm the worst. I'd like to try out Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. It sounds fun. It sounds like something I'd get into. Like, I used to enjoy some of like the competitive first-person shooter games. Like, I used to, back in the day when I was out in my bachelor pad, and I'd get together with some friends, and we'd have we'd play on my Xbox 360. We'd do Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was my game, and Halo 3 or Halo Reach. Those are my games, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed those. I was never very good at them. Like, that's an important point to make here. I was never all that good at these games, but I did enjoy them, and I feel like I'd enjoy doing some, like, of that kind of, something in that ilk, but something a little more lighthearted might be kind of fun. Something like Splatoon, or something like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Panaman says, Splatoon is one of the reasons I want the Switch. I should probably put my food back in my hand. I could never save enough money for a Wii U. I think a lot of people did not get the Wii U for one reason or another, and are looking forward to that kind of stuff on the Switch, which is cool. Very cool. 1 second here. Unfortunately, I have someone who is kind of spamming the chat a little bit here. Let's see. Missed a few things here. Let's see. Quill says, I can't wait for the whole 3DS capture website to be replenished. That's true. I'm kind of losing track on some of these. See, back in my day, Josh says, I played PvZ Garden Warfare 2, one of the first ones. I freaking love it. Awesome. Ooh, gotta watch out, guys. There's bad things here. Quill says, this may be a fun series to try. 2.5 noobs enter Garden Warfare 2. That could be fun. That could be fun. Yuki says, Edison, Halo Reach is terrible to many people. I don't know. I liked Reach. Oh, there's baddies around. I liked Reach. I liked Reach better than Halo 3. Just overall, I enjoyed the feel of it better. That's probably just a preference thing, but I enjoyed it better. It was more my style. Okay, I do have some more of these. I actually need some more dark oak here, too. Quillen says, but Morgan, you and I could all get... Oh, someone's shooting at me. Someone's shooting at me. Hang on. Let me deal with this guy. Oh. Sounds like nature's taking its course. Where'd he go? Okay. Well, I guess that took care of that. Yeah, I showed you. Yeah, but Morgan, you and I could all get Garden Warfare 2 and try it out once his audio deal is fixed. Yeah, and he is planning on doing that. Like, with Morgan, it just takes time to... Oh, hi! Hi, guy! What are you doing down there? You were waiting and hiding for me, weren't you? You were waiting. You're a crafty one. All right. That would be fun. That'd be really fun. Let's see. Actually, what systems do you have? William's asking. If you're talking to me, I don't know if you might be talking to someone else in there, but if you're talking to me, the only systems I have at the moment is my 3DS and my PC, and that's kind of it for systems. I don't have any of... When I was a kid, we, my brother and I always like shared systems. Like we had one Xbox and one GameCube and whatever. And somehow, I don't know how exactly it worked out this way, but when we became adults, all of those ended up in his possession. So I don't really have any of the games or systems that I had as a kid. So I got this. I did have an Xbox 360. That was mine. But I hadn't used it in like a year or two. Like I never even took it out of the box that it was packed in from several times moving. So I finally sold it. So, and no regrets. I don't really have a good setup for it right now. I probably wouldn't have. Hadn't really played it much. I figure I'm much more likely to play something on my PC since I've already got a setup for it than bust out all the stuff and all the gear and such to play on the Xbox, since it's something I don't really do regularly. So no regrets there, but that's what my console situation's looking like. Shady Spike says, one of the first things I'm doing on CruxCraft is getting an elytra. Yeah, baby. They're awesome. They are awesome. Actually, Morgan is the guy you're going to want to talk to. He's got a ton of elytra because he lives in the end. And I don't know why, but he just, like, all he does in this game, I swear the only thing Morgan does on the server anymore is just go through the end and, like, go raid End City. So he's got all the shulker boxes and all, like, bunch of elytra and all kinds of stuff. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, he's the guy you're going to want to talk to. He'll get you hooked up. He'll get you hooked up, sir. All right, let's scooch some things around a little bit here so I can get some more oak. And then I guess I should be wrapping this up fairly soon. This has been a good stream though. It's gone really well. So that's good. Here we go. Let's see. Shakana says, Edison, you're about my age, it seems. Why didn't you have... we didn't have nothing so fancy as an Xbox or a GameCube. We're from the NES, SNES, Atari generation. I might be a little younger than you then, because that was a little before my generation. Because how old am I? I'm 26, almost 27. So I was born in 1990. So, like, it's easy to track. Like, I was in my, like 8 or 9 during, like, the, like, SNES. Like, I was, like, 9 or so. I was, like, 8 when Pokemon first hit the U.S., and I was all over that as a kid. I was all over that. I was Gen 1er right here. I was, like, just a little kid. Totally got into it. But, yeah, that's cool stuff. Shadespec says, I'll ask if I can trade something with him. Yeah, I'm sure he would. He's pretty generous, Morgan is, when it comes to the elytra. I can tell he really wants that to be in as many people's hands as possible. So I'm sure he'll be happy to work something out with you to get you some wings, get you a pair of wings, and I'll give you a tour of the server, to show you where all the cool things are, because we got a pretty decent setup going here. Pretty decent setup. Panda Man says, now that I think about it, I might get a PC Minecraft before the Switch while waiting for some more games. Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, there aren't a lot of games for the Switch right at launch. Like, I'd love the Switch to be fantastic. I'd love for it to be awesome. But at launch, there's like one game. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get the Switch at launch. Like, there's just not enough. Like, if it had more of the things I really want at launch, I'd be all over that. But there's just kind of not. So I'm just going to kind of wait. Like, if you wait until, like, the holiday season, there's going to be so much more to do on the Switch. It's going to be a much better system. But as it stands now, just kind of... I mean, Breath of the Wild looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. Let's see. Yuki says, I built a house in the Nether for Minecraft Pocket Edition. Nice. Out of nether brick. That sounds fun. That sounds pretty cool. Quillman says, hashtag born 2 days after Pokemon. Woohoo! Nice. William says, the newest system we have is a 3DS. We have a PS2 and all that stuff. Yeah, and PS2 was awesome. That was one of the systems I really had when I was really into that kind of thing at the time. Shakana says, okay, I'm 27, almost 28, born in 89. Cool, not far off. Neat. I've been doing NES, SNES since 5. Explains everything. Exactly. Awesome. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. Yeah, 'cause how far do I want this to be on this floor because we're pretty close. I think what I'm gonna do. It's about time I should be wrapping this up. So I'm gonna clean this area up over here, make it look nice, make it look pretty, and then I think this is probably where I should wrap things up because it's about that time. It's been a nice hour-and-a-half stream, you know. Shady Spike says, Edison, what will happen to your old base? I don't really know. I don't really know. I probably won't be using it much because eventually my base is going to be up there. So the one over there, I might just leave it, or I might just tear it. I might just set up a whole bunch of like dynamite in it and just blow it up, but that'd probably blow up part of Seaside too, and I don't want to do that. I don't know. I don't really have any plans for it, really. William's got to go. See you, chaps, later. See you, William. Thanks for joining in. Yuki says, technically there are 3 games on the Switch. I mean, if you want to call 1-2 Switch a game, I think that's kind of a stretch, but sure. But yeah, I see your point. I do see your point. There's a few things, but not really. Quillman's going for... Everyone's leaving right now, so this is perfect. Perfect. Shady Spike says, Edison, want to fight another woodland mansion when I get on? Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun. We have a whole bunch of cartographers, so I'm sure they've got maps to another one. So let's just review quick what we got done here. Basically, we laid down this floor, which doesn't really sound that impressive, but it looks nice. I think this is going to look like a really nice, really impressive library. And we've figured out how this is going to look. Today, we mostly did the flat area. And next time, there's going to be a lot more layers and elevation and changes of stuff. And I think I am going to keep this exactly where it is, the rail here. But I'm going to decorate it different. But I'm going to keep it in the same exact spot. Just for fun. Just because I think that's neat. You know, that's one of the first builds on the server. One of the first builds we did was this rail. It's kind of, you know, chintzy. It's just cobblestone. It's nothing fancy. But it's kind of for history's sake. It'd be kind of neat to keep it there, just kind of modernize it a little. I think that's pretty cool. Shady Spike says, can I build a house in Seaside? Not 100% sure. Seaside's kind of my, like, this is like my, my whole, like, this is like an extension of my base. Instead of like having a bunch of stuff like underground, some people do, I'm making it like over here. So I might ask for Seaside to be kind of my area, but in the surrounding area, like somewhere just over that way, or let's just do a little cruise here. Can I get airborne? Can I get some air? There we go. Woo! Anywhere in this village area here. This is Hideyoshi's old place over here, so probably like that. That kept to himself. But anywhere along here, anywhere in the desert, there's plenty of area really close by that you could set up shop at. And honestly, too, the other village, Ghostwood, the one that Quill's usually working on, there's a lot of activity. That's a very much an up-and-coming kind of place. A lot of cool stuff happening over there, too. So there's lots of cool places you can set up shop. Lots of cool places. Shady Spike says, is there a voice chat on the server? We have a group Skype chat we do. It's just like text chat, but we all kind of keep in touch with each other on Skype. And we just talk to each other, too. It's actually a really cool cool little thing there. Josh says, Edison, you still have me. Okay, cool. So, I'm just gonna sleep it off, and then we will wrap this up. So, thank you all so much for a really fun stream. This was actually a lot of fun. I feel like we got some good work done. I feel like we have a lot to show for what we got done today, and I enjoyed it. It was a blast. Got good conversations going, good stuff. Yeah, you can see in the background there some of what we got done. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And thank you all so much. And until next time, catch you later, everybody.